All right, so today we're diving deep into the world of IShowSpeed.
Yeah.
You know him, you love him, but are you ready to see him in a whole new light?
What I find so fascinating about IShowSpeed is
Yeah?
he doesn't just talk the talk.
Right.
He walks the walk, or at least tries to.
Yeah.
And we're going behind the scenes with him using this interview he did on Shannon Sharpa's Club Shay YouTube channel.
Oh, yeah, that's a great one.
Buckle up, because this deep dive is about to get interesting.
Okay, so you're probably thinking IShowSpeed, an athlete,
Right.
but the guy is convinced he's the fastest man alive.
Wow.
Well, outside of the pros, of course.
Sure.
And he's actually raced some serious competition to prove it.
Hmm.
We're talking Noah Lyles.
Yeah, wow.
The reigning world champion sprinter.
And this is where it gets really interesting.
Yeah.
IShowSpeed, in true IShowSpeed fashion, did absolutely zero training for this race. He literally hopped in his car, drove 3 hours to meet Mr. Beast and Lyles, and just went for it.
No stretching, no warm-up, just pure confidence and hold on tight, because he actually came pretty close to beating Lyles.
It's amazing.
Can you imagine?
He genuinely believes he could win in a rematch, which is a testament to his self-belief,
Right.
but also raises questions about the nature of talent versus dedicated training.
Yeah.
Lyles has spent his life honing his sprinting skills, yet IShowSpeed with no formal training almost took him down.
So is there like a point where raw talent hits a ceiling? Could IShowSpeed ever beat Lyles without serious training?
That's the million-dollar question.
Right.
It's like asking if someone with a natural ear for music could conduct an orchestra without ever learning to read sheet music.
Oh, that's a good one.
There's undeniable potential, but realizing it takes more than just raw ability.
Okay, so that's one wild claim. But get this. He also says he could outrun Tyreek Hill, the NFL wide receiver known for his blazing speed.
Oh, wow.
He even challenged Hill on the podcast, saying, Tyreek Hill, put your career on the line, put your contract on the line, race me 40 yards.
Now, obviously, there are huge differences between a casual race and the pressures of professional sports, but IShowSpeed's claim highlights how these online personalities often use bold challenges, regardless of outcome, to generate buzz.
Right.
It's about grabbing attention,
Yeah.
controlling the narrative, establishing a certain image.
Do you think maybe sometimes it's simpler than that? Maybe he genuinely believes everything he says?
It's hard to tell what's real and what's for show, especially in the online world.
Right, exactly. And that's what makes him so compelling to watch.
I think so.
We're constantly trying to figure him out,
Yeah.
dissecting his words and actions to understand the man behind the persona.
Exactly. And the athletic claims don't stop there.
Oh, no.
He's also convinced he could hold his own in the boxing ring.
Wow.
He's sparred with Manny Pacquiao, even taking a body shot just to experience it.
Oh, my God.
He even said that with 6 months of training, he could give Floyd Mayweather some work.
Hold up some work. Manny Pacquiao's a legend. And Mayweather, come on. I once tried a beginner's boxing class
Yeah.
and ended up with a black eye.
Oh, no.
6 months wouldn't turn me into Mayweather.
Right. There's a difference between natural athleticism, which IShowSpeed clearly has,
Yeah.
and the years of dedicated training and technique it takes to reach the level of those champions.
Right.
And this point is driven home when he talks about his training session with a gymnast.
Okay.
Let's just say he got totally worked.
That's wild. It's a good reality check that raw talent can only take you so far. But then he contradicts himself, saying he could have been a pro soccer player if he'd focused on it, but then claims soccer doesn't take as much skill as other sports.
Right.
Make up your mind speed.
That contradiction is a great example of how IShowSpeed keeps us on our toes.
Yeah,
He's full of these hot takes and bold claims, which is part of his appeal.
for sure.
But it also raises questions about how much of this persona is carefully crafted for views, how much is genuine, and how much is performance.
That's something all of us should think about. Not just about IShowSpeed, but about any online personality we follow. Are we getting the full picture, or just a curated highlight reel designed to keep us watching?
And that connects directly to your own online experiences.
Hmm.
Think about the people you follow, the content you consume. Are you getting the full story or just the version they want you to see?
Mind blown. But before we go too deep down that rabbit hole, let's shift gears and talk about IShowSpeed's actual career streaming.
Okay.
You already know he's a big name on YouTube and Twitch, meaning he creates and broadcasts content online, building a massive following.
Right.
But what's crazy is that he started during COVID just out of boredom.
And in just a few years, he's gained a massive following on YouTube and TikTok, racking up over 30 million subscribers. Talk about a meteoric rise.
Wait, He actually graduated high school while all this was happening?
He did.
That's impressive. And even more impressive, his first big purchase after hitting it big was a house for his mom.
Oh,
Now that's heartwarming.
absolutely. But fame comes at a price. Think about his streaming schedule, 4 to 5 hours nonstop almost every day.
Oh, yeah.
That's a serious grind.
Plus the constant pressure to create new content, to keep people engaged and stay ahead of the trends. It's got to be exhausting.
And then there's the lack of privacy. He can't go anywhere without being recognized.
Yeah.
That constant scrutiny has to take a toll.
It makes you think about the trade-offs, right? On the one hand, you're doing what you love, reaching millions of people and potentially making serious bank. But on the other hand, you're always on, always performing, with very little downtime.
It's a double-edged sword, and it's interesting to consider how IShowSpeed navigates these challenges.
Yeah.
Is it all worth it in the end?
Well, to answer that question, we need to go a little deeper into who IShowSpeed is as a person.
Okay.
He's clearly confident, sometimes bordering on arrogant.
He claims to be the best content creator at everything, but then you see these moments of genuine generosity, like when he's always carrying cash to help those in need.
Yeah, and here's something that might surprise you, driven by his passion for travel. He's taught himself 8 different languages.
Wow.
I can barely handle my Duolingo reminders.
That generosity might stem from his travels. He said that experiencing different cultures has broadened his perspective, and that ties into his impressive language skills, which show his dedication and natural curiosity.
Right.
So we see these layers to his personality: the braggadocio, the good Samaritan, the dedicated learner.
It makes you wonder which aspects are the most authentic and which are amplified for the camera.
Exactly. It's like we're piecing together a puzzle trying to figure out who the real IShowSpeed is.
That's what makes this deep dive so valuable. It's not just about understanding IShowSpeed, but about how we as viewers interpret online personalities and the complexities of fame in the digital age.
It's about recognizing that what we see online is often a carefully constructed persona, and it's up to us to think critically about the content we consume and the people we follow.
Okay, so we've covered his athletic ambitions and his rise as a content creator, but no deep dive into IShowSpeed's world would be complete without talking about Ronaldo versus Messi.
The eternal debate.
And IShowSpeed is firmly on Team Ronaldo.
He is.
He even has a Ronaldo-themed Lamborghini.
Now that's a fan.
I know, right?
You know, it's interesting when you think about these sports rivalries like Ronaldo versus Messi. It's almost like they've become these avatars for our own personal values.
I never thought about it that way.
It's like these debates become a matter of personal pride, almost like you're defending your own family.
And he got pretty heated on Club Shay.
Oh, yeah.
He got into it with Shannon Sharp about who the Joe T of soccer really is.
He even offered a $5,000 charity bet that Ronaldo would win a fan poll.
Yeah.
It's a perfect example of how these players become more than just athletes. They represent something deeper, something almost tribal for their fans.
And speaking of deep, we've covered a lot of ground today, but before we wrap up part 1, there's one more piece of the IShowSpeed puzzle we need to explore: his work ethic. The dude is nonstop.
He's got that energy.
He mentioned streaming for 4 or 5 hours, nonstop brainstorming ideas, even when he's not live.
Wow.
He's constantly pushing himself to create more, to do more.
And remember, he's traveled to over 38 countries.
He wants to see it all. So we're talking about someone with incredible drive and ambition, both online and offline.
That's a great observation, and it brings up a really important question. Where does this drive come from? What fuels IShowSpeed's ambition?
That's a question we're going to tackle in part 2 of this deep dive. We'll explore the forces that shaped IShowSpeed's ambition and what it means for his future. Stay tuned.
Can't wait. Welcome back. Last time we were talking about IShowSpeed's wild claims about his athletic abilities, his meteoric rise in the world of content creation, and that relentless energy he brings to everything he does.
Seriously, from challenging world champions to buying his mom a house, the guy's life is nonstop.
It really is.
But it makes you wonder where that drive comes from. What fuels IShowSpeed's ambition?
That's what we're digging into today. Remember how we talked about his upbringing in Cincinnati?
Oh, yeah.
He said it wasn't always easy, that he saw a lot of stuff growing up.
He even joked that navigating those tough streets is what made him so fast.
He did.
But all jokes aside, it's clear those experiences played a big role in shaping who he is today.
Absolutely. He talked about his mom being super supportive, even though she didn't really understand streaming at first.
Really?
She just wanted him to finish school.
Which he did. He actually graduated high school while his streaming career was taking off.
Yeah.
Talk about balancing priorities.
Exactly. And it's interesting, he even said his dad's laid-back attitude, that go be happy vibe, also influenced him.
So he had this core support system,
He did.
even when things were chaotic.
That's so important, having that foundation to fall back on.
Yeah, but then there's the flip side of that coin, the online trolls.
He said he's been dealing with negativity and hate online for years, that it's just part of his life now. He's learned to block out the noise and focus on the positive, which is a skill in itself.
Easier said than done right, especially when millions of eyes are on you judging every move, every word. I can't imagine how you stay sane with that kind of pressure.
He said it comes down to remembering that he's human just like everyone else. He tries to understand where people are coming from and focus on making them happy, not letting the hate define him.
That's a really mature way of looking at it, especially for someone so young. He's also talked about the importance of staying focused, keeping his eye on the prize.
He's definitely goal-oriented, and it's clear he's a learner. Remember, he's picked up 8 languages just from listening to music and interacting with people from different cultures.
Yeah, that blows my mind.
It's pretty incredible.
Most people I know struggle with one extra language. It shows a real dedication to expanding his horizons. And he's not just learning languages, he's learning the game of content creation. He's even mentioned getting advice from Mr. Beast, arguably the biggest content creator out there, on things like strategy and algorithms.
That's smart. Mr. Beast has built an empire online, so he's definitely someone worth listening to. He probably shared tips about optimizing titles, thumbnails, and content to appeal to YouTube's recommendation algorithm, which can make or break a channel's growth.
So he's not just relying on natural talent or charisma, he's actively seeking out ways to improve and grow. That's a key takeaway right there. Success isn't just about luck or natural ability. It's also about putting in the work, continually learning, and surrounding yourself with people who can help you level up.
Absolutely. It's about having the humility to recognize that you don't know everything and the willingness to learn from those who are ahead of you.
So going back to the question we posed earlier, is IShowSpeed all hype? Or is there real substance beneath the surface? What we've seen in this deep dive suggests it's more than just outrageous claims and attention-grabbing antics.
Right. There's more to the story. He's got a strong work ethic, he's dedicated to his craft, and he genuinely cares about connecting with his fans.
And he's shown he's not afraid to put himself out there, to try new things, and to constantly evolve. But there's one more element we haven't touched on yet: his love for travel. Remember, he's already been to over 38 countries.
He wants to see them all. He even said traveling makes life better.
Oh, wow.
And remember, he learned all those languages because he's genuinely interested in experiencing different cultures. It's not just about ticking off boxes on a map, it's about immersing himself in new environments and expanding his worldview.
It's fascinating to think about how all these experiences, his upbringing, dealing with trolls, his travels, have shaped his ambitions and how they might influence his future goals.
Absolutely. It all comes together to create this complex, multifaceted individual.
But there's a potential downside to all this travel and fame: constant scrutiny and a lack of privacy.
He's mentioned how fans will chase his car, try to pull his pants down, even show up at his mom's wedding.
That's scary.
It's like he can't escape the public eye no matter where he goes.
He talked about how he can't even go to a remote village without being recognized.
Right.
That must be tough, having every move watched and analyzed, especially at such a young age. But then again, he seems to thrive on the energy of his fans. He feeds off their excitement.
It's a complex relationship, a symbiotic one. He needs his fans, and they need him. But it comes at a cost. It makes you wonder, is it all worth it? What are the long-term effects of this level of fame on someone so young?
These are tough questions, but important ones. And that's what this deep dive is all about, giving you the information and insights to form your own opinion.
Exactly. It's not about agreeing with everything IShowSpeed says or does. It's about understanding the factors that have shaped him and the challenges of navigating fame in the digital age.
And that's knowledge you can apply to your own life, whether it's your own online interactions, your career choices, or even just how you view the world. But there's one more fascinating aspect of IShowSpeed's story. We need to unpack his foray into the world of business.
Oh, yeah.
He's mentioned that he's actively investing, exploring new ventures beyond streaming and content creation. He's thinking about the future, about building something that lasts.
It's smart to diversify.
He bought his mom a house, but he also dropped a cool $1 million on a house for himself in Ohio, plus a Lamborghini and an Audi.
Yeah.
Not bad for a 19-year-old.
He's doing right.
He's even mentioned wanting to perfect the game of streaming to become a true master of the craft. He sees it as an industry with huge potential, not just a hobby. And he wants to be a major player in that industry.
And he's not wrong. Think about how streaming has changed the entertainment landscape in the past few years. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry, and IShowSpeed is at the forefront.
He wants to be as big as Mr. Beast, who's estimated to be worth hundreds of millions of dollars.
Wow.
That's some serious ambition.
Well,
He's definitely got the hustle to back it up. He's constantly brainstorming new ideas, collaborating with other creators, pushing the boundaries of what's possible online. But he's also thinking long-term about building a brand that can stand the test of time. Something that goes beyond viral trends.
that's smart. He knows trends come and go, so he's creating multiple income streams and exploring new ways to connect with his audience. That's where we'll pick up in part 3 of this deep dive. We'll delve into IShowSpeed's entrepreneurial ambitions and explore what it means to build a brand that can outlast the fickle world of online trends.
Welcome back to the final part of our IShowSpeed deep dive.
All right.
So we've seen his athletic ambitions, his incredible journey as a content creator, and the drive that pushes him to constantly reach for more.
It's really something.
We've seen the good, the bad, and the totally outrageous.
Yeah,
But one thing's for sure, IShowSpeed is not just a passing trend.
definitely not.
He's thinking long-term, building a brand that goes beyond viral moments
Yeah.
and into something much bigger.
He's got that entrepreneurial spirit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's already diversifying his income, investing in businesses, and exploring new avenues to grow his wealth and influence.
Yeah.
He's not just living in the moment. He's thinking about the future.
Right, and he's already made some savvy moves.
Oh, yeah?
Buying a house for his mom, $1 million place for himself in Ohio, plus a Lamborghini and an Audi. Not bad for a 19-year-old.
That's for sure. But it's not just about the flashy purchases.
Right.
He's talked about wanting to perfect the game of streaming, to really master the craft. He sees it as a legitimate industry with massive potential,
Right.
not just a way to kill time.
And he's got a point. Think about how much streaming has changed the entertainment world in just a few years.
Right.
It's a multi-billion-dollar industry, and IShowSpeed is right there on the front lines, pushing the boundaries and shaping its future.
He's even mentioned that he wants to reach the level of success of Mr. Beast, who's built a true empire online and is estimated to be worth hundreds of millions of dollars.
It's a high bar,
It is.
but he seems determined.
He's definitely got the ambition and isn't afraid to dream big.
And that's what sets him apart.
Yeah.
He's not just riding the wave, he's actively shaping it.
I like it.
He's constantly brainstorming new ideas, collaborating with other creators, and pushing the limits of what's possible online.
He's got that hustle,
He does.
but he's also smart about it.
Absolutely.
Remember how he mentioned getting advice from Mr. Beast about strategy and algorithms? He's not afraid to learn from the best and apply those lessons to his own content. It's a reminder that success isn't just about talent. It's about being a student of the game and always looking for ways to improve.
It's about having the humility to learn from others, but also the confidence to trust your own instincts and take calculated risks. It's a delicate balance, but IShowSpeed seems to be navigating it pretty well so far.
He's a master of creating viral moments, but he's also aware that trends come and go. That's why he's building a brand that can adapt and evolve, one that's not dependent on a single platform or algorithm.
He's thinking ahead.
Right. He's already built a massive following across YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. And who knows what new platforms will pop up in the next few years.
Who knows?
But the point is, IShowSpeed has positioned himself to be a leader no matter what changes come.
that's a smart strategy.
It's exciting to think about what the future holds for him. He's got the drive, the talent, and now the business savvy to become a true icon of the digital age. He's not just a streamer. He's an entrepreneur, a brand builder, and a force to be reckoned with.
But it's not all going to be easy.
Right.
He's already faced challenges from dealing with online trolls to the constant struggle to maintain some semblance of privacy. And the more successful he becomes, the higher the stakes will get.
He'll need to navigate the complexities of fame, fortune, and a constantly changing internet landscape. There will be pressure from all sides, and it'll be interesting to see how he handles it. But if anyone can handle it, it's probably IShowSpeed.
He seems to thrive under pressure.
Yeah, he's already proven that he's adaptable and resilient. He's got the confidence, the charisma, and the work ethic to achieve anything he sets his mind to. But the real question is, what does he want to achieve? What's his end game?
Maybe he wants to build a business empire, or maybe he wants to use his platform to make a difference in the world.
He's hinted at potential ventures in music and acting, showing he's open to exploring new creative avenues. Maybe he'll launch his own line of merchandise. Maybe he'll become a venture capitalist, investing in the next generation of creators.
The possibilities are endless, and that's what makes his story so fascinating.
Right.
It's a reminder that we're all still figuring things out, especially in a world that's changing so rapidly.
So what does all of this mean for you listening at home? What can you take away from IShowSpeed's journey?
It's a reminder that success is not a straight line.
Hmm.
There will be setbacks, challenges, and unexpected detours, but it's how you respond to those obstacles that defines you. It's about
Mhm.
believing in yourself, being willing to learn and adapt, and never giving up on your dreams.
And remember, you don't have to be the fastest man in the world to achieve greatness. Find your own lane, embrace your unique talents, and build a brand that reflects who you truly are. Authenticity is key, and that's something IShowSpeed has in spades, whether you love him or hate him.
He's definitely one of a kind.
IShowSpeed's story is still being written, and who knows what heights he'll reach in the coming years. It's going to be one wild ride. But one thing's for sure, he's got us all watching, waiting to see what he does next.
I can't wait to see what he does next.
So that wraps up our deep dive into the world of IShowSpeed. We hope you enjoyed this journey tailor-made just for you. We've gone from his wild athletic claims to his meteoric rise as a content creator, and finally to his ambitions to build a lasting legacy.
It's been a wild ride.
It has. It's a story about ambition drive and the ever-evolving landscape of the digital age. It's a reminder that anything is possible if you're willing to put in the work and stay true to yourself.
Well said.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible. And remember, the most fascinating stories are often the ones that are still being written.